Look, I have a confession to make. The US dollar is doomed. We are going to print until it is worthless. We all know that. Buy Bitcoin, buy silver, buy gold, buy real estate. We are just going to ride this pony until the party is over, then reboot and start the cycle all over again.
What's going on, guys? K-Dub here with another episode of Crypto Zombie. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a wonderful week. What a crazy week it's been for multiple reasons, and we're not even done yet. I think you might know there's been a lot of drama, a lot of chaos. I'm not going to go into all that. I'm sure you know what we're talking about. But beyond that, in the background, there's a lot going on that people seem to be ignoring right now. Many things happening right now. We do have 3 days until the options expiry. We also have the fact that we're going to have the end of the month candle close for September. September, usually a bearish month. October, typically a bullish month for Bitcoin. Will it be bullish this time around? Also coinciding with the fact that they may be having a government shutdown. Oh, also Gary Gensler sends a letter out and then he receives some letters also from the House of Finance, while also postponing more of these ETFs way ahead of schedule. So reading between the lines, what the heck is going on right now? That's what I want to talk about today. But I do want to hop into this super quick. I don't want to waste any of your guys' time. Make sure you follow me over on X Twitter. That's where I've actually been doing a lot of my updates when I can't get these videos out. So let's dive in. Let's have a look really quick. So over here, you guys can see that Bitcoin is actually attempting on the short term to put in this higher low right here. And if you look right here, we also have this little pump that we had this morning higher than this wick that we had here. So again, this is happening during a time where we're seeing the S&P continue to fall, and we're also seeing the DXY skyrocketing. I mean, look at this. Look at all of these weekly candles. It's had massive weekly candles for over 2 months, breaking this high, and I mean, are we going to come up all the way back here to 109? That could be a possibility. And remember, I did tell you guys that these Bollinger Bands are getting very tight, and once we break out of these, we tend to have some massive volatility. Now, I am again going to put the TA at the end of the video because once again, not too much has changed, but there is something I want you guys to stick around for, because we have this Bitcoin indicator that we've been using for a long time on the channel, and it has an 88% success rate. And well, you know, it's kind of flashing its head again. So we're going to get into that. But what I want to dive in first and foremost is, again, if you're not following me over on X Twitter, this was sort of the breaking news yesterday about Chase Bank in UK, and they're basically stopping their crypto business, right? They're saying we will decline payments related to crypto. If you'd like to invest in crypto, you can try using a different bank or provider. And then they're saying it's because they're trying to protect everybody, right? Because that's what everybody says, right? The SEC won't let you participate in crypto, and they're fining everyone because they're protecting you. And now, you know, Chase Bank is not allowing you to buy, sell, or conduct business in the UK. Is it going to come to the US? I don't know, but it's all for our protection, right? They're just trying to protect you, just like they protected this grandmother who they refused to reimburse $32,000 in stolen money due to a text message scam, right? So maybe we should just ban text messaging too. Maybe we should just ban everything, right? Because there's scams everywhere. So we should just not let anybody make any financial decisions with their money whatsoever. But, you know, then again, if I want to go down to the casino and put my whole life savings, you know, on the roulette table, that's fine, right? That's fine. But what's super interesting about this is JP Morgan's bank, by the way, Chase bans crypto transactions, but at the same time, JP Morgan's, is a bank is looking to settle Jeffrey Epstein's, I'm not going to say that word, suit by U.S. Virgin Islands for $75 million. You can't make this stuff up.
Carl, JP Morgan says it has reached an agreement in principle to settle the Jeffrey Epstein predator litigation with the U.S. Virgin Islands with a payout of $75 million. The settlement ends a bruising episode in which each side accused the other of enabling Jeffrey Epstein's abuses and led to a series of embarrassing disclosures of relationships that high-ranking bank officials at the time had with Epstein himself, including one former executive who frequented Epstein's private island. In a statement, JP Morgan says that the settlement does not include an admission of liability, but the firm, quote, deeply regrets any association with this man and would never have continued doing business with him if it believed he was using the bank in any way to commit his heinous crimes. The settlement amount of $75 million matches the amount that Deutsche Bank paid earlier this year to resolve a similar lawsuit that was brought by Epstein victims. Now, separately, guys, importantly, JP Morgan also says it has reached an agreement with its former executive Jess Staley to resolve JP Morgan's claims against him. Now, the terms of that agreement are confidential, so we don't know if Staley is paying JP Morgan or what amount that might be. Back over to you guys.
Brian Armstrong comes out and says totally inappropriate from Chase UK Bank. He says UK crypto holders should close their Chase accounts if this is how they're going to be treated. Oh, right, Brian, the same way that you restricted and basically closed my account as well, right? Because I was doing crypto transactions, but we're not going to get into that today. Long story short, I don't have a Coinbase account anymore. But yeah, so this is where we have the SEC coming out with this incredibly early, basically delay. Now, keep in mind that this spot these spot Bitcoin potential ETFs that were supposed to come out over here from ARK and 21 Shares, they didn't have to make a decision until November. Why are they making this decision so early? Well, again, we'll get into that in just a minute, but they are receiving the pushback, okay? The US is tired of this. They're tired of Gary running rampant. They're tired because you know why? They know what's going to happen. They know what's going to happen. You could see right here, we had a few of them coming out. We had members of Congress. We had Mike Flood, Tom Enner, Richie Torres, Wiley Nickel, all saying, hey, listen, okay? They're urging that a regulated spot Bitcoin ETF would increase investor protection by making access to Bitcoin more transparent and safer. They're saying this would increase it. It would make it safer. And these guys, of course, are trying to protect us by delaying it. I don't get it. Congress has a duty to ensure the SEC approves investment products that meet the requirements set out by Congress, they said. To that end, we urge that you approve the listing of a spot Bitcoin ETF immediately. Now, again, we've talked about the ETF on the channel. I know people are probably getting sick of hearing it. I know people think that it's not going to be good for the Bitcoin price. We've gone over multiple reasons. Again, I've showed you on multiple charts why. You can see right here, this is the gold chart, okay? And right here, now keep in mind, they did actually technically have an ETF that came out in Australia in 03, which maybe explains why we had this little pump right here. But right here is exactly where we had the US spot Bitcoin ETF launched in November of 2004. And from that level, obviously we've had a pullback, but you can see right here, we had a 357% increase. And as of today, well, it's kind of sitting relatively close to those levels, right? But, you know, that's again, trying to explain to people about Bitcoin, about the Bitcoin ETF. I kind of feel like this Michael Saylor video.
Why don't you break this down simply for people like me that don't fully understand it?
Okay.
If you went out the yield curve on bonds, or if you went in.
Sure.
Is constantly growing. It's happening as all of these new companies,
So let's just start at the beginning, if you don't mind, explaining what is it?
Sure.
Maybe one of the reasons that people have this bad taste in their mouth is because this is probably one of the craziest charts. We actually were talking about this over on the live stream. And so basically right here, this was the original. You can't really see it, but this was that Bitcoin run up to the top right here, right? So let me just get rid of this again just to keep it so everybody can see what's going on. So basically right here was when they launched the original Bitcoin futures ETF, right? This was not a spot ETF. This was cash settled. And you could see they just shorted the hell out of Bitcoin all the way down to the bottom. I mean, man, if you were an insider and got in on that, look at that, 84% down to the bottom. But this is sort of the flip side. So fast forward to where we are right now, right? Maybe some people are saying we could have some kind of a double bottom or something of that nature. You know, we're not going to rule that out of the cards, but just keep in mind, if they launched the futures ETF at the top, wouldn't it make sense to launch the spot ETF close to the bottom? Especially since you need physical Bitcoin, especially since they have to hold that Bitcoin and balance it on a weekly schedule. Just think about it, guys. Futures launches at the top. Not surprising that we may get that ETF spot at the bottom, right? So moving on over here, getting back to the Fed, by the way. I hope you guys like that intro. It was obviously a joke. He didn't say that. But so they say that stable coins could become a source of financial instability. Well, for who? Who is it threatening here? The report compares stablecoins to money market funds and ultimately concludes that they have similar shortcomings. Well, guys, you know what else could actually cause some financial instability? Yeah, a government shutdown. Because, you know, when the government can't come to a decision, we just shut down. We just close down, right? Wouldn't that be a great way to just solve all our problems in life? Like, oh, can't figure it out. Guess I'll just go home. We'll just shut down. We're not going to work today, right? You could see that according to Bloodgood, there's a real chance that we see a government shutdown on October 1st. Millions of employees not getting paychecks and all non-essential work gets put on hold. It has happened for 35 days in 2018, 2019. Why is this relevant? Well, no federal funding, no economic releases, so the CPI and other data could be delayed, making it less likely for the Fed to hike on November 1st FOMC. Now, how would that affect crypto specifically? Well, don't forget that there are some crypto bills that are attempting to be passed right now, so that would delay them as well. It looks like the government is just in this absolute mess right now. And what's hilarious to me, absolutely hilarious to me, is they have tried everything that they could possibly do to slow down, stop, stifle innovation for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and the stocks. All they've done, they've raised the rates. They've come out with all this FUD articles. They've said that they're going to tighten, right? They're going to tighten, and yet they can't stop it. Bitcoin continues to hold steady. It continues to slowly decouple itself from stocks and other traditional markets. And as you can see right here, the Blockchain Regulatory Uncertainty Act, Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act, and Keep Your Coins Act are all things that are supposed to be sort of looked at. And the votes point to a major step in favor of cryptocurrency. Yeah, you can read that again. In favor of cryptocurrency. So is this all just a conspiracy against crypto? Not necessarily. I don't believe that. But come on, guys. They see the threat. They realize the inevitable, and they're panicking. They just don't know what to do. The banks, Gary Gensler, he's definitely, I mean, come on, guys. The banks own Gary Gensler. BlackRock owns Gary Gensler, and he's stuck between a black rock in a hard place, if you get my pun there. But yeah, eventually the inevitable is going to happen, and the Bitcoin ETF is going to be approved, and we are going to see massive, massive, massive price action. And of course, there may be a sell the news event. We've said that before. But let's dive in. Let's have a look super quick at the charts. I don't want to waste your guys' time. So we have Dave the Wave pointing out that Q4 2022, he says, bring it on, because we have monthly MACD showing a maturing market as predicted along the lines of the LGC model. MACD has crossed bullishly and well set below the zero line. So again, what is this telling us? Well, let's dive into some of our analysis over here, and maybe we can come to some form of a conclusion. Now, again, October or Uptober generally tends to be a bullish month for Bitcoin. Will it follow in suit? Well, there is something that I want to point out. For the first time in history, as Alex from Sborg points out, Swissborg, he says the first time in history that Bitcoin's hash rate has actually surpassed the current market price. What does this mean? He says this shows that Bitcoin is number one, undervalued. Number two, miner confidence is sky high. And number three, network security has never been better. But yet, people are just looking at the price, they're freaking out, and they're just thinking that this is the end for crypto. So yes, it's not exactly sunshine and rainbows. I pointed this out. We have been held down by this extremely important 100 moving. And we did have the death cross, okay? We did have the death cross on the daily, and as you can see, where it was acting as support right here, right? This is the support. Once we fell through it, we had 1, 2 taps, boom. And we've had actually, you could argue 2, 3, 4 on the daily, and who knows, maybe we'll come back up to that level again. That level currently is sitting at $27,300. Now, of course, a rejection off that level, as I've been saying, is only going to build structure around this original Terra Luna crash area. I mean, look at that interest right there. Look at that structure. What does that remind you of? It reminds me of this back here when we were building the structure in this area. Now, obviously, this area is acting as our resistance, right? If you look right here, I mean, I'll draw a line so you can see it more clearly. I mean, look at where we hit right there. See, there's the support being built, right there. And then over here, right, here's our resistance, right? So what are we doing right here? Well, I believe that we're doing the opposite. I believe that we're doing the same thing that we did here over here, and this is actually building a long-term support. Now, does this mean that we couldn't dip below it? No, it doesn't mean that. But what it does mean is that once Bitcoin eventually does break above this level and confirm above this level, well, you probably heard this before, but you're probably most likely never going to see Bitcoin probably ever, unless there's some insane black swan, World War III, I don't know, USDT explodes or something, or implodes. But yeah, you're probably never going to get a $25,000 Bitcoin again. And, having a look at these higher time frames, yes, you're having a death cross on the daily, but you're having a golden cross on the weekly. And the higher the time frame, the more legitimate it is, right? Because there's more data. There's more data in a week than there is in a day. There's more data in a month than there is in a week, right? This is just simple logic. And you could see that we did, in fact, get this cross. And every single time that we get these cross, with the exception, obviously, of the black swan of COVID, you could see, I mean, look at the green. And look at how long we go until we get that flip in the red. Look at how long we go until we get that flip, right? Right here, COVID again. But right here, once we flipped it, look at how long it took, right? So again, this is signaling to us that we could potentially be in that bullish environment. Now, we are attempting once again to break inside of this EMA ribbon. And I've said, and somebody please correct me if I'm wrong, maybe I haven't assessed the data correctly, but to my knowledge, I don't believe, I don't believe that we've ever had a fake out. This is only Bitstamp. This isn't the full index, but I don't believe that we've ever had a fake out where we flipped the ribbon and then instantly flipped down to the other side. So will this happen for the first time ever in Bitcoin's history? I don't know. But it's never happened before, right? And something that we were talking about that has an insane success rate is this hash ribbon indicator, right? Every time that we have the miners capitulating and then we move into these buy signals, you could see every single time we've ever had it, right here, Bitcoin pumped, right? Right here, great time to buy. Right here, great time to buy. Now, of course, there are a few instances in which it didn't. For example, obviously, we pumped into COVID and then had a massive retracement, right? Black swan event. But you can see right here, even look at this, Bitcoin had already pumped from $3,800 all the way up to about $17,000. And then we got the ribbon, but then we ended up going all the way up to almost $70,000. So still a good indicator. Buy indicator flashed here again on the second pump into the double top at 40,000. Still a good buy, even though we did have a dip. We went up to 52, came down to 38, but went all the way up to the all-time high for Bitcoin following. We also had another indicator flashing right here. Beautiful, beautiful indicator. This came off of the double bottom at 20,000. Some people thought it was a fake out. We did have a dip back down to retest, but then Bitcoin went all the way up to $31,000. And we did, in fact, have one flashing again on Monday. So just having a look at all of this data, seeing what's going on right now, you still can't get full on bearish. There's a lot of people that are calling for these lower levels. I have no problem admitting that I'm wrong, and I have no problem admitting if we have a black swan event of some nature. But again, you can't deny that we've still never, ever lost this legacy trend, right? And again, where I point out where we had that intersection was the strongest of the bounces. So could Bitcoin come down and retest the lower area? Yeah, where would that bring us? It would bring us down to about $21,000. Could we do that? Sure. Why not? I don't see that as a non-possibility. You could see right here, the worst case scenario that I could see, and by the way, we are having this curve up here, potentially on money flow. But what we are seeing is the massive interest in the VPVR right here, or VRVP, whatever you guys want to call it. I've seen it said both ways, but people correct me when I say it that way. So I'll say it the way you want me to say it, VRVP. Anyway, it's a volume range profile. And this area of interest at 19,000 is huge. Absolutely huge. And even if we were to lose that, you still have massive interest down here at the bottom. I don't think we're going that low. The next area of interest is 23,400. That would be the most likely retest that I think would be the healthiest if we were to do that. So that's it for me, guys. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. I hope you are enjoying this video. And I just realized I actually have two more things I want to talk about. So I'm not actually done with the video yet. I did also want to mention that just on some news, there was some leaked documents that revealed Microsoft plans to bring crypto wallets to Xbox. So the leaked documents have been described as the largest in Xbox history. So that is potentially some good news, right? Just more crypto adoption as well. And we also have NFT brand Pudgy Penguins debuting their toy collection in 2,000 Walmart stores. Each toy provides access to the Pudgy world, a multiplayer digital social experience which could improve visibility and users of the Pudgy Penguin brand. So again, what does this all mean for cryptocurrency? Well, obviously I think this is just more brand awareness, more, in the public's eye, realizing that, NFTs are a real thing. Crypto is a real thing. It is here to stay, etc. So that's it for me, guys. And of course, if you are looking to trade, do check out over here, CoinCatch. And the only reason I'm recommending this, if you guys are interested, this is a centralized exchange, but They do, in fact, have obviously futures. They also have spot trading as well. And this is a no KYC up to $100,000 withdrawal. So if you are having trouble on some of these other platforms, you could check that out. Or if you don't want to trust these exchanges at all, you want to take matters into your own hands and go completely decentralized, Apex Pro is really, really an amazing exchange. And honestly, they have some of the cheapest fees I've ever seen. Like, I'm literally talking pennies. If you actually check my tutorial on Apex Pro, I show you guys live. We're making trades in USDC, and these trades are literally costing us like 20 cents. 60 cents. So if you guys want to take a decentralized approach, make sure that you check out Apex Pro. But ultimately, guys, that is it for me today. Thank you so much for coming back to the channel. Hope you guys are having a wonderful and beautiful day. Until next time, guys, stay crypto. If you do want to trade, make sure that you check out these tutorials right here, right now. Obviously, if you guys are down here in Fort Lauderdale, maybe I'll have a chance to see you. I'm going to try to do as many updates as possible. And yeah, so that's it for me. Hope you're having a wonderful week. Hope it's not too crazy over there. Until next time, stay crypto. And of course, peace out.